My national security team is currently reviewing our existing Iran policy, looking at areas where we can have constructive dialogue, where we can directly engage with them. And my expectation is in the coming months, we will be looking for openings that can be created where we can start sitting across the table, face-to-face, diplomatic overtures that will allow us to move our policy in a new direction.
You may think it's 9 p.m. Eastern hour because Sean Hannity's here, but it's not. It's a 10 p.m. hour, and it's on the record with our special guest, Sean Hannity.
We only get to talk to each other on satellite, so this is a lot of fun. It's great to see you.
All right. Why do you think the president had this press conference tonight? And who was he talking to?
It's very interesting because now he's running it as a political campaign. I think he's going over the heads of the American people. What's interesting, as the American people have become more aware of the pork, if I need to say that, that's in this bill, their support for it has dropped dramatically. So I think he's sort of trying to inoculate himself, politically speaking, because this is going to be a partisan bill. There's going to be maybe 1, 2, 3 senators that support it. I don't think you'll get a single House member. I don't think you'll get a 4th U.S. senator that's a Republican to support this. You may end up with only 2 in the end.
But we're there now. We're already there. We're already partisan after last week, and we know it's partisan. The Democrats in the House and in the Senate, they've only got 3 Republicans. But who's he speaking to? Who's he trying to convince tonight?
First of all, he's using this tactic of fear, which I find very frustrating, because I don't think we should scare the American people into supporting a bill without the full, complete debate and thorough examination. Republicans were...
Do we have time?
Sure we do. Yeah, why would we rush into mortgaging our children's future and grandchildren? I use the term Obama mania, and I define it as the feeling of omnipotent ecstasy and euphoria that people get at the very sight of Barack Obama. Right now he is right on campaign mode. Bumper stickers, platitudes, slogans. He repeated his mantra like he did earlier in the day and like the case they've been making. In that sense, he's a very successful politician in selling his plan. But over time, it's going to be, the proof is going to be in the pudding. Is this going to get the economy to rebound? Are we going to put massive debt on our children and grandchildren? Does this stifle economic growth and capitalism? Will this unleash credit in the marketplace? So
if he's right, if he's right, he's a hero. If he's wrong, he's finished after 4 years. Do you agree?
He says
I realize there's a cost if he's wrong, but I mean, because it's so partisan. I mean, he's hanging his hat on this because nobody's going with him from the Republican Party, so he can't say, well, the Republicans were with me on this. So if he's everything
he's lowering
rides on
expectations every 5 seconds. He reminds everybody, number one, A, arrogantly he won, and well, so did the Republicans, and B, you know, he goes off on this whole tangent about, you know, he's lowering expectations. I inherited all of this. But the proof is going to be in the pudding ultimately. And does this benefit the American people? Here's his problem. I call this the European Socialism Act of 2009. Socialism has never been successful. It has never worked. The reason America has enjoyed unbridled prosperity, we have become the envy of the world, with wealth, hope, and opportunity for every American, is because we've had free market capitalism. We're abandoning it with this bill. His answer that government is the solution to all our problems, I think, is fundamentally flawed. It's never worked anywhere else it's been tried.
Would you feel better if the balance between the spending programs and the tax cuts, you're not thinking all tax cuts?
Why not?
I mean, what I'm asking you is that, I mean, you'd be in favor for 100% tax cut and not just changing the balance between the programs.
Look, there are worthwhile programs, but I urge you to examine Social Security. We're now on the verge of bankruptcy because they never put that money in the block box. Medicare is on the verge of bankruptcy, government-run programs.
By the way,
nobody would argue education has done a good job either.
Where are we getting this money? I mean, that's the thing that nobody's really talking about. It's like, you know,
it's a great question.
I mean, we're just going to, like, you know, print it.
We will eventually be taxed in the future, down the road, and this debt that we are incurring with interest, we're going to place on the backs of every man, woman, and child in America. You know, there have been some studies. The Heritage Foundation did a study. The CBO's done their study. They're estimating that for every, I don't know what this means to save a job, but when we were talking about this earlier, or to create a job, but if we go to the high side of his estimates in job creation, 3.7 million, we're paying $300,000 per job created. That seems like an awfully high price. Now, if it's a government program, it's probably has a short life to it. It's not sustainable. If you created a job in the free market,
you can't back out of them either. I mean, if we make commitments to create long-term programs, we
never get out of it.
We can't. Well, we can't fire the people. I mean, we do make sort of moral commitments to them, which is another whole other issue. But
Social Security bankrupt, Medicare bankrupt, and the educational system in many districts in the country has been destroyed. Those are government-run programs. They're backdooring nationalized health care by expanding the SHIP program in this bill, which I think is a mistake also. And so, look, you know what I think? I'm going to say one thing.
Hold it, one there. Okay, that make the viewers. The one thing he thinks. Hold it. He's got an important thing to say, so stand by because we're not through with Sean yet. Our breaking news coverage of President Obama's first primetime press